I had coffee this morning, and the reason that is news is because I don't really drink coffee. I'm so sensitive to caffeine, as you guys know. But it's Friday, and so I was just feeling in the mood because I really like coffee. But I can't have it during the week because I'll stay up or I'll just be really anxious. But since it's the weekend, I'm relaxed. So the coffee is
Nice.
fine. It doesn't affect me.
What time
Um,
did you have it?
I had it at 8 a.m. So I had it very early, but I honestly
Okay.
still kind of feel a little bit jittery from it. Isn't that wild?
Christina
So
had
funny.
coffee. I'm
That's
doing the whole thing of
funny.
not drinking caffeine anymore or trying to reduce my
Oh,
reliance on it. So I'm going the
like
opposite
cold
direction.
turkey?
Yeah, cold
Damn.
turkey. The only thing that I have now is matcha or green tea.
Mm.
But other than that, it's I do sense that I am a lot sleepier and I take 30-minute naps.
Do you get
But it's
headaches?
getting
Because I
better.
Which is
know
fine.
that happens
Yeah.
sometimes.
Withdrawals,
Yeah.
caffeine is a serious drug, you guys.
Mm,
No headaches, just sleepiness. I'm not as
okay,
wired
that's
as I
good.
used to be.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I don't do coffee by 2, 3 o'clock, I just get that annoying tang in my brain. Just
Oh no.
I need coffee. Yeah, I'm fully addicted.
And then you have it at 3 and then you're up at 2 in the
Yeah.
morning. Why can't I?
And you're
Yeah.
now I need a glass of red wine.
Yeah.
I guess speaking of red wine,
Speaking of red wine,
yeah, why don't we share what we're drinking and snacking on today? I have some red wine. It is this Italian wine, I think. The producer is called La Chiuva. The
Mm.
bottle has a very rustic
Mm.
looking label that's
Yeah.
a dark beige with black,
Coffee color.
kind of handwritten font. Yeah, so it is. I cannot figure out what type of grape this is right now, but it is very good. So I'm having some red wine.
It's red
And
grape,
then
Christina.
Yeah,
sorry,
red
it's
grape.
red grapes. Yes, some red grapes that were fermented to make this wine. And then my snack looks really weird, but it's just leftover Trader Joe's version of Takis.
Ooh.
They call them spicy corn roll-ups or something.
Yeah.
But there was just a little bit left in the bag, so I put it into this bowl
Yum.
here.
Nice.
So I'll do a quick little ASMR
You gotta
moment.
do always. Ah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and they're
So good.
spicy and citrusy.
Yeah.
Megan, your turn.
Yes. So I knew that Christina was drinking red wine from a photo that she sent earlier. So then I got inspired and I am also drinking a red wine. This one is a Cabernet, which actually I haven't drinking a Cabernet Sauvignon in a really long time because usually it's really heavy, but this one's pretty light. This one is by Viña Echeverria. It's a Chilean.
Also sounds.
It's a
Oh, okay,
little
I see.
Chilean producer, but
Is that the one that has
pretty
a guy
fun.
standing? He's holding something.
Yeah, or he's holding his finger. Yeah,
Very
this one's a
cute.
fun one. I feel like a lot of restaurants have this too, but it's super fun. And then I have bread and butter, but it's so much butter that it
It
just
looks like a
looks
nice, healthy
cheese.
serving of butter. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a real healthy serving. We have some friends staying over this weekend and they made the bread and then brought this French butter, which I'm pretty sure if I showed
Wow.
you the package, Christine would probably recognize it, but it's just
Oh yeah.
so good that I'm eating it as if it's cheese. So,
Dude, French
As
butter
you should.
does
Here
taste
I
like
am.
cheese. It's
So good.
so delicious and so rich. Is that a ciabatta?
I think it's just a sourdough. It's a
Yeah.
sourdough, but I think they used a good percentage of wheat because you can tell that it's very dark.
Mm.
Oh, it's very good. What about you, Christine?
Right. I was in a meeting while this conversation was happening about having red wine, and when I hopped onto that thread, I was like, I'm going to do a martini today. So I have a dirty gin martini with Parmesans instead of olives. And I
Yum.
don't have any like fresh lemons. They're all kind of like wilted lemons. So that's why like the peel looks like like
Oh,
sunburnt
that's a I thought it was like a
Like
pepper or
sunburned what?
something.
skin.
Oh yeah,
You
I
know,
thought
like
there
when you
was. I
peel
thought you had
skin?
pepperoncinis in there.
Yeah, same. I thought they were
Oh no, no,
peppers.
that's fully a lemon peel that's
That
Oh
looks
my
like
god,
comes
the like
like
so
ridged.
funny.
It looks like the
Yeah.
ridged slices of pepperoncini.
Oh my
no, my
god.
friends, it's literally a lemon peel that from an old lemon. Anyways, it's delicious. I threw in an ice cube because it's too strong. And then for snacks, I am finishing up my lunch and it's bulgogi kimbap. And I order from the same place. So I think like over the past 4 months, I've ordered bulgogi kimbap like 40 or 50 times. I like go through my DoorDash, like kimbap, kimbap, kimbap.
Order again.
Oh,
Order again.
ooh! Hot tip for people who live in LA: kimbap with king taco sauce, red sauce.
Mm.
So good. Christine and I had it recently.
Yo,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that
so
sounds
good.
so good, especially with like the bulgogi kimbap because it's like there's meat in it
Mhm,
and it's just
mhm. Yeah.
yum.
Yeah. All right. So, shall we get into the podcast today? I
Yes.
can kind of quickly give you the rundown of how our episodes go. It's three basically sections. We have ilcha, icha, and samcha. And every cha that we have, we talk about a different question or we discuss a different question and we go deep into that specific topic. So we have that. Today's topic is personality tests. And Christina, Megan, and I, over the course of our friendship, have discussed personality tests and how we relate to each other, how we're different. So we thought that this could be an interesting thing to discuss and share with everyone, and also just have you think about how you're different and how unique you are as a special flower.
Oh, I love that.
Special
We're just
flowers.
this little friendship garden of different flowers. All right then. If child, let's go.
Cheers,
Cheers.
ladies.
Mm.
We're gonna do that every time. How should we start this? I mean, we all were
Mm.
like retaking different personality type tests earlier today, and we were mostly focusing on Myers-Briggs or MBTI and enneagram. So I don't know. Does anyone want to start with one in particular?
Should we chat about MBTI because that could be pretty quick?
Yeah, I feel like more people are like more familiar with MBTI. Yeah.
I
So
have
maybe
like
we'll
a
start
little
there.
anecdote too. Like
Ooh.
now that I have opened myself up to the dating app world, all the Korean guys on the apps will put their MBTI. That's like a
Oh,
critical piece of information
interesting.
that they put up. So instead of like explaining their personality, they just put, I am this. And that's one little like observation that I had with like Korean guys on the dating apps.
They've
And no
like
one else.
Wait,
moved on
I like
from blood
that.
type.
I know.
Yeah, they've evolved away from blood types and now they're like, oh,
Yeah.
we can get more specific.
Wait, I love that because I think it's when you're speaking the same language, like, I mean, like literally speaking the same language, fine, but like when you're speaking a certain language, that you can all understand like what the letters mean and what it means to you, then that totally makes sense. Cause then you don't have to like go into talking about the nitty gritty and you just have these nicely put 4 letters that
Yeah.
tell people who
Yeah,
you are.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's
pretty
cool.
wild.
I remember freshman year of college, it was like a really big thing as well.
Oh yeah.
And like everybody was taking them. And then like Christine and I, and then with our roommates Olivia and Joanne, we once made like a 4-way Venn diagram of our MBTIs. But I think all of our
That-
personalities have changed since then. But
They
Mm.
have. It was like
Mhm.
a part of a season in life.
Christine and I are both, we just learned, INFJ.
Mm-hmm.
And I
Yeah.
can't remember which is what is it? It's the advocate personality.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
can't remember what I was. I, for some reason, don't remember the advocate. So maybe I was something different. I definitely I'm always an I. So I'm
Mm.
definitely more introverted, like severely introverted, I think. But
Severely? Like,
severely.
Severely. It sounds
severe.
Well,
like a
it's,
condition.
I know, like devastatingly an I. It's like, but it's kind of interesting because like I think I'm like a learned extrovert. Like if I'm at a party, or if I'm at, a work event, or if I'm somewhere where like I know I have to be an E, I can totally work my way through the room and like figure it out. But then I think preferentially I'm definitely an I. Like I would rather just be in the corner, or like in my room, like rocking in the corner,
And
than,
sweating,
Fetal position.
thinking about
yeah, fetal
yourself.
position, than be an E. But I can be an E if I need to, but it's more of like a want type of a
She's
thing.
a
Were you
functioning
always?
eye.
Yeah, but Christine, I for some reason always thought you were an E.
It's because I am not like a severe detrimental.
Mm.
I'm right in the middle. Like I
Mm.
so but when you take like the MBTI, it means it stands for Myers-Briggs like type indicator or something. So basically there's 16 personalities that you can have with the MBTI test, right? And within each letter there's like four letters. You can be it gives you like the percentage split that you are, like where you are on the spectrum of like introvert and extrovert. And for me, I'm like split pretty close to the
Mm.
middle, but I skew a little bit more to an introvert. But I can be very extroverted with like people that I'm comfortable with, which is probably why you think
Mm.
I'm an E. But
Mm.
a lot of the times I think like one gauge of like whether or not you're an I or an E is like you get energy from people, or when you are in like a social situation you feel like drained and you need to take like a pause and a break from socializing. So that's definitely
Mhm.
me. I need like time to regroup and to get energy from my own head versus other people.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
feel so like mine, when I took it today, and also we're just taking like free versions of these. We haven't like
Yeah.
done
Hmm.
the full, like whatever you're supposed to do. So when I took it today, the result I got was ENFJ, which also I have never gotten that
Mm.
result before.
Mm.
Like most recently, I got ISFJ. So just to
Okay.
like break that down, like I guess the F and the J have been pretty consistent over the last like 5, 10 years or so. My E and I, like extrovert, introvert, has also always been really 50-50. So I
Hmm.
guess, I don't know, the way I answered the questions today, like E came out on top a little bit.
Yeah.
For the N and the S, so that's N stands for intuitive, S stands for sensing. So those are also like pretty 50-50. So that explains why like I've gotten ISFJ, but also
Hmm.
ENFJ. So yeah, but I'm also like, I've been slowly wondering like if I'm more extroverted than I realized, because I
Hmm.
do enjoy my alone time. But then there are also times where I'm just like, I need I like want to hang out with someone or like be around people,
Mm.
but it's never like I want to be around strangers because I feel like there's some people who do get energy from like meeting new people.
Yeah.
So it's
Ooh.
never so much coming from meeting new people. They exist
Who?
somewhere. They're detrimentally extroverted
Like
Yeah, that is
I
a detrimental extrovert right there.
tell
severely.
me anyone who gets like off on meeting
I
strangers.
did I did meet someone, and she said she loves like meeting people and like is like such an extrovert and loves meeting new people. So
Wow.
I have met one in the wild.
That is so
Wow.
impressive.
It really is.
Okay, so it's like
Hmm.
I guess we all three of us we got
Oh
N,
yeah,
F,
we are
and
all.
J, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So the S and the N, apparently, I'm like looking off of this website that has a description of these letters. Apparently, it indicates how you learn. So if you're an N, you
Mm.
learn by like seeing the bigger picture and like bigger themes. And it's not so much about like every specific detail, I guess. And then
Yeah.
S is people who process things like very linearly and they focus on what they can actually sense. That's why it's like sensing. So like literally things they can
Mm,
see, hear, touch, like
touch,
those
yeah.
are the things that they need in order to learn. So
Mhm.
that's, I guess, the difference. And again, mine is like 50-50 for those.
Mm.
They're like pretty close.
Oh, I'm like
Hmm.
dominant N
Mm.
versus like 50-50. What about you, Megan?
I'm looking it up. Where are my results? I do remember my F and J were very strong. Like it was in the 70s, 80s.
For each of those. Yeah.
Oh,
For each
Me
of
too,
those. Like they
actually.
were really, yeah, they were really high. And then the I and the I a little bit higher, but then the N was pretty in the middle
so that's
for
kind of like
me.
Christina. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think that makes
Yeah.
sense because I do feel like
Wow.
when I learn, like, I think I'm pretty detail oriented in general. So I feel like that can come through with like the way I learn or take in information.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But I think there's instances where I go a little more high level and don't get into
Mm.
like
Yeah.
every single detail. Yeah.
Yeah. I think more so now for me, like I think I used to be a lot
Mm,
more like maybe stuck isn't the right word, but like stuck in the details a little bit.
mm, mhm,
But then now I understand that like you kind of need to move up
mm,
or move forward
Yeah.
sometimes like without getting too stuck in the details. And so I feel like work kind of taught me that.
that's
Just
true.
working and doing like corporate life and things like that, I think it kind of
Yeah. Because
helps you to,
sometimes you just don't have all the information in front of you. So
yeah,
you just have to
Mhm.
like take what you can and then find the bigger picture. So that makes
yes,
sense. Ooh,
exactly.
very interesting.
Mm,
So like after I took the test, so like typically for the past, I don't know, like 15 years, I've been an INTJ. And then
Hmm.
over the past 2 years, I've like fluctuated. But when I read the INFJ personality type, Megan, you might be able to relate. This like relates to what you were saying. I was reading through the description. I was like, oh my God, that's like something that's more true to me than what an INTJ is now. So I think that like like these shifts happen in different seasons of your life. And
Hmm.
so with this like advocate INFJ personality type, like the pros is that like we search for like the bigger picture, the deeper meaning. We're like idealistic and passionate, but like there are
mm,
like weaknesses as well where this is interesting where like this personality type is like sensitive to criticism. They're more private and don't want to burden others with their feelings. They're perfectionists, so like that detail
Mm,
orientation. And then the last two things for like weaknesses is that we avoid the ordinary, like ordinary experiences, ordinary like objects. We like try to detract from that, and then also we're prone to burnout because of
mm.
all of the weaknesses of like being a perfectionist, like wanting these like ideal experiences, like thinking about the deeper meaning of things and being so passionate. That's like, it's like, oh my God, that's like, that's me. And then when I think about you, Megan, I'm like, that's you too.
I know, but then we can be so different in ways,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
it's so interesting. It
Based
like
off
I
of
Yeah.
think
how
it
we
shows
feel,
up.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think it shows up like in different maybe areas too, just in different ways.
'Cause, yeah,
It's
we're
wild.
humans are complex, so it's not like
So complex.
yeah. But Christine, I'm
Yeah.
so curious because you were saying you were always an INTJ, and then
Yeah.
like more recently you tested as an INFJ. So like, can you talk? Okay, so like that's thinking and feeling. So it's like how we make our
Uh-huh.
decisions. Do we do it like thinking, like rationally, like make
Uh-huh.
like a list of whatever, or feeling where it's like it's more of the heart, but also like how your decision affects other people is like
Yeah.
part of it. So yeah, what do you think that shift means for you?
Oh my God. We're gonna go into like straight up therapy session now. I was like thinking
In
about
ilcha, love it.
so when I think about INTJ and like how I landed as, or I was an INTJ in college, post college, up until like my late 20s and early 30s, I think like the INTJ was like a mindset of like surviving. I have to be this way in order to succeed in like the workplace and school. And then now that like I've established myself in my career, I think I'm going back to this like more this person that I was earlier in my like life when I was like a child or before college when I had to think about survival. And so shifting from T to F is like the only thing that shifted between like then and now. And I think that I'm like a Pisces, like deep Pisces, which is
Yeah.
like another like way of,
You're a
I
hard
guess
Pisces.
hardcore Pisces. Pisces feel. And I think that shifting away from always being that like T person in my life and now giving room to let the F in me like flourish is
Mm.
this new season that I'm in now. And I'm really tapping into like my emotions and my feelings. And I think that that has been a very illuminating experience and being able to create space for myself to open up that door and let the F balance myself or the F balance itself
Mm.
in like a more holistic person from who I was before, and then all of the experience that I had from like college to like working and establishing myself in my career, and then now. So I think that's like how
That's
I
so cool.
rationalize the
Mm.
shift. But I do also think that like it makes sense. It's like the season that I'm in right now, and I feel very like enlightened by this, knowing that I've shifted over to an F. But again, it's like very, very split. It's like pretty close to the middle, but I'm like leaning more F than T.
That's what I like
Yeah.
about these personality tests, because like it gives you a filter to just think about yourself, and
Yeah.
like you can like let go of like the label of whatever result you got, and
Mhm.
it just helps you analyze, you know? That's what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it also helps you. Oh man, I'm gonna butcher this quote. I think I read it like sometime this week actually, where it was like you shouldn't be comparing yourself to other people, but you should be comparing yourself to like your former self. Like
Mhm.
Oh.
that's really who you should be like comparing yourself to. So this
Mhm.
is super interesting because to your point, Christina, it really like yeah, creates these like
Mhm.
ways in which you can talk about these certain aspects and like
Mhm.
seeing all these changes are super interesting and seeing like where it comes from and like where it stems from is also
Yeah.
super
Mm.
cool. And like actually talking about changes, if we're ready, we could talk about
Mhm.
our enneagrams
Yeah.
and our
Yeah.
numbers because there's a
Yes.
huge change for me
Oh my
there.
gosh,
Jesus.
yours. But there's like a cool correlation to it. We can get to
What
it in a
did I
second.
say? Yeah, I was like, what? Remind
Sorry,
me.
we'll
Well,
get there. I missed that one.
just buckle up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MBTI is one thing, but Enneagrams is like another way to like it's
Yeah.
like a
I love
filter, as you said.
Enneagram.
Yeah. She
No, but
even bought a book about it.
I'm like you know how there's like I'm like in the first layer. Like if it's an onion, like an Enneagram onion,
Mhm.
I'm like in the first layer still. Like
You
there's still
think?
so much. Yeah, cuz I still like I feel like I don't have a grasp of like all the different types. But basically with
Mhm.
Enneagram, I'm not going to do a good job of like describing like
You're gonna
what
do a
it is all
fantastic
like
job. Yes,
scientifically.
you are. You're gonna kill it.
But yeah, but there are 9 different Enneagram types. So that's what took me a while to like grasp it, because there's 9 of them. So it's like a lot to try to remember. But there's 9 different types, so 1 through 9. And with each type, you have a wing of like the number on either side. So for example, I'm a type 1 wing 2. So like I'm a 1, but I have tendencies also of the 2, which is right next to a 1 if you've like got the numbers in a circle. You could also be
Mhm.
a 1 wing 9, or you could be a 5 wing 6. Like those are like all the different like possible types. And with each one, there's essentially like a basic fear that they have and then a basic desire that they have. That's kind of like the core of these Enneagram types. Like I think a lot of it probably stems from like childhood and how you were brought up, but then also there could be other factors weighing into it. That's like the, kind of in Megan's words, like butchered version of like the description of what an Enneagram type is. Yeah, mine has been pretty consistent. I'm a type 1 wing 2, but I know Megan's has changed drastically since the last time you took a test.
Yeah, what was mine? I was 8. I was the same
Yeah.
as Dane, right? I
Hmm.
was 8 wing
7.
7.
7. or not. Actually, I don't know what your wing
I think
was.
we were 7, wing 8, and then because I
Megan was
remember
8, wing 7. Yeah.
we were in Berkeley and we were like
Mhm.
talking about enneagrams, and then we were
Mm.
talking about how like Christina and like
Oh yeah,
someone, which
Sean
one?
and
Yeah,
yeah.
very
Yeah.
similar, and then Olivia, like
Mhm.
you and me were very similar, and I
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
we were 7, wing 8 at that
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, I
Well,
think
what's
Megan,
crazy,
you were 8 wing 7. Well, when you took the
yeah.
test, like,
Mhm.
When was that?
like 2
How
years
many
ago, I
years ago
think.
was that? 2 years? No, it
Mm.
was before COVID.
No, it was June
During.
2021.
Oh, yes, it was June 2021, our historian.
Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say was type 8, which what was what I was, and then type
Mhm.
2 are like literally cannot be like more different. Because
Mhm.
type 8 is called like the challenger, and then type 2 is the helper.
Mhm.
And although they are so different, I actually identify with both of them so much. So
Mm.
I think this is the part where I was talking to you, Christina, about it briefly, where like I kind of feel like type 8 is my like outward persona. And then
Mhm.
type 2 is kind of like my inner persona.
Mm.
And I mean, I generally think that I don't necessarily think that's a good thing or like a healthy thing. Like I'm pretty sure your inward and outward should be the same.
Mm.
um, but I think before I used to be very much like, very like strong or like needing control, like commanding, directing kind of a vibe. But then again, like to mention therapy for like the 25th time, I think through therapy, I am learning my like my origin kind of story and like my origin of personality and where those things come from, and like all of the things and all of the reactions that I have now are based off of the way that I grew up. And I
Mm.
think the way that I
Yeah.
grew up is much more closer to like the helper, which
Mm.
like, I grew up alone basically. Like I don't have siblings. My parents were obviously here and they were very supportive, but also at the same time they didn't speak English. And so I had to like do a lot of things on my own, whether it be like applying for things, like learning about like just a bunch of different things through school, through life, like I kind of had to do. And then on top of that, I had to like take care of my parents because I had to be
Mm.
the translator and this and that. And then that then bled out into like my family and other, my grandparents, my aunts, uncles, whatever.
Yeah.
And so, like, relearning all of those things and why I have the reactions, then I think when I'm answering the questions and doing the test again, it makes me
Mm.
answer more like internally. And so I think that's why the 2 came out, even though I think when I read the 8, that is kind of my personality. It's almost like a cause and effect kind of a thing. Like
Yeah.
2 is the cause, and then 8 is the effect. It's so
Yeah.
bizarre. I need
Well,
I need to like
Oh,
write this down and
wow.
take
yeah.
this to my
No, but
therapist.
because like
It's
Yeah,
like
the
the
yeah.
cool
nature
thing,
versus nurture, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
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 But like, so the reason I love Enneagram is there's so many layers that we can't get into. But like one of them is like all the numbers are connected to other numbers. So like if you look up like Enneagram arrows chart on Google like images, you'll see this. So for example, for a 2, there's an arrow going from the 2 to the 8. And it's like when
Megan,
So
they're, yeah,
crazy.
it's their like
wild.
it's like the stress arrow, I guess. And so it's kind of like, and it's not necessarily that one's negative and the other arrow is positive, but like I think it's something like when you are under stress, you start to exhibit like traits of an 8. So it's probably like you're at the
Mm,
core like a 2, you're the helper, but then when you're stressed, like maybe feel like you need that like control, and that's where the like more like quote unquote
yes.
aggressive like side of the 8 comes out. Yeah,
Mhm.
and then like and
Oh.
then the when you're like quote unquote growing, it like goes towards a 4, which again, we won't go into all of that, but I just thought it was cool that there is that connection
Wow.
between 2 and 8.
Connection. Yeah,
Yeah.
for
What's the
sure.
4? So if we're like
Four?
using Megan as an example,
yeah.
it seems as though Megan is like a learn to, like when she was younger. This is like
Mhm.
the person that she like was in her early life. Then she evolved into like an 8 when she's stressed, like a
Mhm.
more aggressive type. But there's
Mhm.
also like felt like wonderful things about being an 8. I see the arrow
4.
going down to 5.
Oh, it goes to
No,
4.
To 4, I think. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
to
you.
Yeah.
4.
Okay, and then what does that mean if you go to 4 then?
4
Yeah.
type 4 is the individualist. Type
Yeah.
4s are motivated by the need to be as unique as possible. They don't want to be ordinary. They are also very focused on feeling all of their emotions. Their moodiness can
Mm.
hinder them and they have a fear of being flawed.
So what's
So,
cool is like
wow.
the type 2. So type 2, hopefully folks are following along. But a type 2, you need like a chart, a flip chart with like all the different
Everyone
numbers.
right now, Google Enneagram
Yes.
arrows,
Yes.
Yes.
and you can see the different
Um,
types.
okay. So what's interesting is the type 2's basic fear is like being unworthy of being loved, and their basic desire is to be loved. That's the desire of type 2. And then the arrow goes to 4 for like kind of like growth. And the type 4 basic desire is to be meaningful based on their inner experience. So
Mm,
it's
and
like
or like the artist,
Whoa.
romantic
instead of like,
individualist. Yep.
yeah, instead of like being loved, which is like external. So maybe I
Right.
guess that's like what it's saying is like the growth path for the 2 is like being able to let go
Mm,
of just wanting to be loved, but then like being enough with your own experiences. Yeah.
yeah.
So cool.
Oh my god.
I love it. Oh my,
Insane.
Wow.
I
Wow.
love it.
Wait, let's go over your guys's. Holy
Christina,
cow.
one wing two.
Yeah, so I'm a
So
type 1. It's called the perfectionist, and it's about like following the rules, but then I think the nuance is like ones kind of have their own personal standards. So like my standards might not be the same as another one, but like
Mhm.
we follow those standards and we expect others to follow our standards. But those
Yeah.
standards could look different like person to person. And so yeah, very like dedicated, reliable, but then could also be very critical and like see things black and white because we've got these like internal standards. And then yeah, my basic fear is to be bad or wrong or corrupt, and then my desire is to like be good and have integrity. So that's
Mm,
does that do
Mm,
you feel like that matches me?
yes.
yes,
Like
definitely.
if you think
Yeah.
about the things that we discussed on Samcha podcasts and like the ways that Christina will like tell stories. Remember that
Mhm.
like the freeway story or
Yes.
like
Mhm.
the
Yes.
distance? That's like
Yeah.
such a one in terms of like having good information, like having these standards, like
Yeah.
being indexing towards like justice. I think that that's
Mhm.
very much you
Yeah.
and your personality. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
there's that
resonates a
one,
lot.
Christina, there's that one story where, and I don't know if we've mentioned it in the podcast, but
Mhm.
there was one where like there was this, like we were all hanging out. There was like a big group of us and we were like playing a
Oh my
game and then
god. I'm getting mad
somebody
thinking
like
about it.
yeah, like somebody well, I can't tell if it was like a joke or like if they were
Mhm.
serious, but like it was kind of like meant, I think it was like in a jokey type of a way. They were like, "Oh, like you guys, your team cheated, Christina," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then
I was
Christina
so
was like,
mad.
"Oh my god, are you kidding me?" And like it was so, but I could see,
Justice.
yeah, justice and
The
like
queen
you
of
and
justice is
it's it
Christina.
and it's integrity,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
because like integrity is such a big important pillar. And
Mhm.
you live by integrity, but then if someone, even if it's in a jokey way or whatever,
Mhm.
tries to tell you that you're not, it's like you
Exactly.
can't stand by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is like obviously like I think it's good to have integrity, but then there's moments like that where it's like, I could let go of that, right?
Mhm.
But that is such a good example of like that personality coming to life.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so hopefully that gives you a sense of what type ones are like. You can identify them in your life.
And then who do we have? Christine is a
Yeah,
type
Christine.
I'm a type 8. I took it today and I'm an 8
8.
wing 7.
Hmm.
So
And
you're the challenger going to the
in the
enthusiast.
And I was like looking up differences between 7-wing 8 and 8-wing 7.
Mhm.
And I was doing this while I was working, so I didn't like really pay attention.
Mhm.
But essentially, an 8-wing 7, if you were to summarize it, is someone who tends to be self-confident, sociable, and pragmatic.
Okay. Yeah.
They're ambitious and independent, preferring to follow their own path. That's like
Mhm.
my motto. It's like
Yeah.
my way. I'm gonna take my way. And then I don't know what else to say about this. I don't know too much about enneagrams. I can go a little bit deeper with like MBTI, but when it
Yeah.
comes to enneagrams, like this new personality is that I have, I need to dig into it a little bit
Yeah.
more. But okay, so one thing that I wanted to like call out about enneagrams that I remember when we were talking about this last time was like how our partners and like the people around
Mhm.
us, the people that we gravitate towards, how they relate. And
Mhm.
so Christina, as she mentioned, is like a 1-wing 2, and her partner is an 8-wing 7, right?
Mhm.
And I am an 8-wing 7. Like Olivia's, I think,
Seven
like
wing 8.
7-wing 8.
Although I think
Um,
she's 7 wing 6 when I put my analysis on,
you
but
think so?
who knows?
And then Megan, do you remember what Sean was?
No, but I know Christina does. I think
1 wing
Christina is the
9.
same.
No, she's 1 wing
Yeah.
9.
So like
Oh, one
there
wing
are these
nine.
different we're all kind of like 1-ish, 7,
7-ish,
8,
8. Mhm.
2, like 6. So the like 1 through
All
9
numbers.
we're all just but I remember being like in that moment I was like mind
Uh,
blown at how the way that we like relate to each other even though we're very different in the way that we think and the like our different personalities, just how it relates to like compatibility and friendship and like
yeah.
partnership and relationships. So that's like one thing that I remember being very like, wow, this Enneagram is like a really great way to frame different types of people
Mm.
and personalities and how we relate to
Mhm.
each other.
It's nice again to like speak the same language, because
Yeah.
then even if you're like two types that are completely opposite, or you have like no idea what the other person's type is, you have the language to say like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this person's basic fear is this, or like
Mm.
their basic desire is this, so maybe I as a friend or a lover or whatever can help recognize that, or like help to kind of like I'm going like this. Yeah, it feels a little sexual, but
Megan is like rolling her palms in a
yeah,
circular
it's
motion.
like I'm rubbing boobies together. But yeah, basically I just mean to say like it's nice to have the to be able to like speak the same language, to maybe identify in your partner or your friend some
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
these things, and then it's nice to support them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to like compatibility and like dealing with conflict. So like when I'm
Mhm.
looking at type
Mhm.
1-wing 2 relationship with a type 8, there's like similarities where we're
Mm.
compatible around topics of justice and fairness in the world, but then conflicts in terms of opposing traits. Um, Eights will see 1-wing 2s as overly critical or someone who does not
Mm.
enjoy life. Whereas 1-wing 2s see type eights as like spontaneous, reckless, and insensitive. So there are like points of like if you
Yeah.
can think about the way that you frame your persona and like someone in your life's persona and how they relate, and having this like supportive information to explain or give you a little bit more reason as to why you have these like confrontations with your that person, it helps like accelerate
Mhm.
the like understanding of that person and
Yeah.
Mhm.
or like allow you to speed up the ways that you find you like reconcile or find solutions around those
Yeah.
differences of the way that you see the world.
It connects to
Yeah.
our previous episode about relationships, kind of like
It does.
just like
Yeah.
we come from totally different worlds, and like we also have different personalities, so you just gotta understand that about each other. So cool.
Yeah.
Can you hear me
But
chewing
also,
my
So
pickle?
cool.
ooh, nice little crunch. I
Yeah,
like
it's
it.
nice.
It's salty.
I know I like because I've been like dabbling in Enneagram for like a little like over a year now, and
Yeah.
I like had Christine pegged as a 7-wing-8, as like a hard 7-wing-8, like just like you're a
Yeah.
hard Pisces. But when I was
Yeah.
reading like the 8 description, like I could see a lot of Christine in that too. So yeah, so I just think it's like, it's always good. Like, I think we can identify the core like personality type, but like just like we talked about with MBTI, like
Mhm.
you either evolve or you just like discover things that you
Yeah.
didn't know before. So it's always good to have an open mind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Whoa, I'm
oh, go
reading,
ahead.
sorry, Christine, I'm reading type 7 and it is very Christine.
There's like a lot of similarities, but I
A
was
lot
like,
of overlap.
when I was reading 7-wing-8, I was like, there are parts that I disagree with where it's like, I know that I'm not that
Mm,
reckless. Like I'm a little bit more careful around like certain elements of my
Yeah.
life
Yeah.
that make me, so I was like uncomfortable reading that as like who I was. And then when I
mm,
read 8, it was like, I think I'm like right in the
In
middle.
the
Like I'm like a
middle.
7.5. Like,
mm,
Yeah.
but one other thing that like I realized when it comes to taking these like personality tests is that you'll go through the prompt of like answering all the questions and then you're given this like label of you are
Mhm.
this, you are that. But like once I read 7-wing-8 versus 8-wing-7 to like revalidate, like this is
Yeah.
true for me, this is not. It's like good to read around like all 16 personality
mm,
types and
Yeah.
all 9 personalities,
Mhm.
and
yes.
to understand that like, oh, I can actually relate to like a 2 or a 4, or like see why, to like connect the patterns between like what stresses you out and
Mhm.
what areas or how you want to grow as like a person. So it's good to just like gut check
Yeah.
across all personality types instead of like pegging yourself into like one position and
That's
say
so
that that's
true.
like who you are under
Pegging yourself
100%.
into one position.
Mm.
Mm.
We love a good
Rawr.
Pegging yourself into a position. Pegging
well,
yourself into a hole. No.
Putting a
oh
peg
my
into
Putting
your
yourself
hole.
oh
in a box.
what have I started? What have I started?
Anyway.
So to your point, Christine, I think it's also good, and I think Christina, you said this earlier. I think retaking these
Mhm.
tests like every so often, I think is also really fun. And Christine, you mentioned like seasons, right? People go through seasons
Mhm.
in their life, and they have different ways in which things kind of come up. So it is really, I think, good to kind of retake this stuff and see it instead of just, oh my God, 10 years ago they said I was the
Mhm.
advocate, and like now,
Yeah.
I'm the advocate. And so
Mhm.
I'm kind of, yeah, I think it's good
Yeah.
to do
Cheers to
this
growth.
more than once. Oh,
Cheers.
cheers.
Okay, well, we basically, I feel like, have already gone to samcha, like emotionally. So
Mhm.
now that we're physically at samcha, maybe like we just go a little lighter and we can just talk about our horoscopes. And then also, at the time of filming this or recording this, the smile test is trending on TikTok. So we also all took the smile test. So we'll like look at that. So we'll just kind of lighten it up for the last round here. So cheers to samcha.
Cheers.
Love it.
Yes.
Wait, Christine, you already shared your sun sign, which is Pisces, but do you know your moon and
Yeah, I'm a
rising?
Taurus, moon in Taurus.
Oh, and what about
Mhm.
rising?
I don't know. I'm rising in sun.
I pulled up my CoStar app. Christine, you're
Mhm.
also rising in Taurus. So
Huh?
you're Pisces, Taurus, Taurus.
Oh, damn.
Whoa.
What does that mean?
I don't know. None of us are really like into horoscopes, but we just think it's fun. So that's why we're sharing it
Yeah.
in case any listeners want to do some psychoanalysis of us based on it.
Honestly, like I think that if there's like an expert, like an
A
expert
professional.
astrologist,
Mhm.
please hit us
DM us
up and we can do like
mm,
an episode where you can
a
kind of
full
explain
birth
all of.
chart reading.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
So
nice.
like
so fun.
so like Dane is like so just like he thinks that
Yeah,
like your astrology chart and your sign is kind of like funky
yeah.
business because there's like studies that happened in the past that dispel like anything
Mhm.
related to
Yeah.
assigning like your personality to a specific, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Well, no,
To
but
like a
what's
specific
funny
like mhm.
well, I was gonna say what's funny is like we were saying how Christine is like a very strong Pisces, like the
Oh
description
my god,
matches her, but then like
100%.
Dane is a Libra and it doesn't like nothing really matches. So,
Yeah.
and I know there's
But
like,
I match a
oh, it's your
Libra.
whole birth chart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So Megan, you said you don't remember the other two,
Well, wait,
right?
I just re-downloaded CoStar. I can't believe I
Ooh,
deleted it in the first
okay.
place.
So what's your
Um,
big three?
I'm a Libra, moon Libra,
Mm-hmm.
and Gemini rising.
So Libra Sun, Libra Moon, Gemini Rising.
Libra sun, yeah, sorry. Libra
Hmm.
sun, Libra moon, Gemini rising. What does
Yeah,
that mean?
yeah. Is there like stuff you know about your horoscope or your whatever signs that resonates with you?
Libra is big on like balance and
Mm.
justice. And I can kind of see that. It's not like, maybe it's not to the level of justice and conviction
As a
as
one.
Christina. Yeah, as a one, but like I do definitely get, whether it's me or to anyone else, if I think it's unfair, I just like, my blood will boil. I'm like, that's not
Mm.
fair. And like, being fair is like really important for me for some reason.
Okay.
Um, but I don't know anything about Gemini.
Wait, did you say so you're Libra sun, Libra
Hmm.
rising? No, no.
No, Libra sun, Libra moon, and then
Uh-huh.
Gemini rising.
Well, I'm just like reading
Are you
stuff
putting
about
it
it. I'm
into a
like,
thing?
Gemini, Libra sun, Gemini rising. There's like so many things related to like career, health, how to recognize one. And so, like, if we start with recognizing, they often smile a lot and they're quite funny. And I think that's pretty much you. They have dark hair and dark eyes. That's literally you.
It's
They have
They
me.
dark
are
hair.
tall and they're always on the move. Like you're always
Wait,
traveling and you're
does
very
it say that they're
tall.
tall?
Yeah, and it says you'll see them wearing
Stop.
neutral colors as well as black and blues. That's like literally
Wait, that's
That's
Megan.
literally
literally me.
me. Wait, what the
Um,
That's
hell? I know
hilarious.
I'm wearing green right now, but it's just pretty like
It's a
but like
not
neutral green.
normal
typically
for me.
Megan wears black, or like
Yeah,
neutral.
always. Oh
This is
my God.
wild.
That's
This
so
is like
funny.
a
She's just
person
reading.
who moves fast. They communicate with people and they access their feminine and masculine parts, and they're able to like
Oh my
balance that easily.
God.
Like,
That's
hello,
really
Megan.
Whoa.
They're into trends, moving fast. I don't know about like flashy cars, but digesting as much content as possible. They're always on their cell phone, and they have FOMO. So I don't know if that's like really. I mean, if
that's
you
Brilliant,
it's
but I
unraveling
know
now.
whoa.
Megan is
I know
like a very
it's all
trendy.
unraveling.
She's a trendy gal, and so that's like kind of where it like comes in. But
That's
then
cool.
Dane can come in and be like, "That's like everybody."
Yeah,
I
Uh,
know.
exactly.
Dane's gonna be like, okay. Wait,
and
I
then
love how when it said that there's dark, or the person has dark hair and dark eyes, we're like, oh my God,
they're
that's
tall and
me
they're tall and they're
too.
always on the move. What
Always
else?
on the move, except Megan wants to be home in the fetal position. So,
Yes, in the corner, just rocking,
Oh
just
yes,
like,
this person cannot handle drama, and
Mm.
so they
oh,
like
but I
having
love a good.
they like Aquarians
I'm an
who
Aquarius.
are like a drama-free match. Love that.
Ah!
Um,
It's
honestly, this makes
me.
so much sense.
It
I'm gonna
really
send
does.
this to
What
I
you.
love
website are
that.
you on?
I know. She just made it
Literally,
all
I
up.
don't know.
I'm sure I just made it all up. Oh,
They live
so
in
funny.
They
I
live
love
in
it. They live
Seattle.
in Seattle.
and they like to drink wine.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Um,
Wait,
wait.
which one? What are you, Christina?
This
So
yeah.
I'm an Aquarius sun, a Cancer moon, and a Leo rising.
Oh yeah, I have you here.
Yeah, and so what I know is that Aquarians are like they really like to be unique. um, and there was like one instance where like it was really funny. I was talking about this Halloween party that I was going to. I was actually invited to like 2 villain themed Halloween parties last year. Christine was at one of them as well. And I was trying to figure out what to wear. And I was telling my friend Sam's Are Better on Instagram. I was telling my friend Sam that I was like, I don't know what to wear to this villain party because, like, I don't want to be like one out of like 5 Cruella de Vil's, like, you know, because that's like a very common villain costume. And she was like, your Aquarius is showing.
But
So
Christina went all out on her costume. Like she
I was
was
Bowser.
so unique. She was Bowser. She like had the yellow hoodie and the green
Yeah.
eyebrows and the
It
red
was so fun
wig.
seeing
It
the
was
photos.
like there was no one like her.
So I guess
in the
it's
room. Yeah.
true.
Aquarius.
Yeah. But Cancer, like the Cancer moon thing, so Cancers are like very sensitive, or like that's what they're known to be. And I think I'm a sensitive soul, so I think it fits. But yeah. That's what I know.
Wait, you know what's so cute on CoStar? It says you can enjoy time together without worrying whether there will be more. You and Christina are both thinking about relationship dynamics right now.
Oh my
Laugh
god.
until your sides hurt.
That's literally what we've been doing.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so those are our big threes. Should we close with our little smile test results, which
Yeah.
Yeah.
those were super cute. So wait, so is this like a Korean thing?
Yeah,
It
it's
seems like it, yeah.
basically Koreans love putting people into buckets and like using like tests or
Mhm.
like frameworks to classify
Like
people and
blood types.
Yeah.
yeah, like differentiating themselves and how they relate or how like just that's how they introspect is through like these personality tests.
Okay. Cool.
um that's a generalization, but that's my observation. And there is this website called K Test One. I read it as K-Testune. Ktest1.com, and there's like a ton of different like personality traits. But this one, or personality tests. And this one is called the K-Test Smile Dating Test. And there's, I don't know, like 5, 10, there's 16 different types of smiles and colors that you can have. And so we took this test, and it's basically to understand like what you value in a relationship and who you are, how you present yourself in a relationship as well, or like what your mindset is. And I guess Megan, did you do it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Should we
We're
read ours?
we're all different. We're all
Yeah,
different.
we all got
And
different
we should
ones.
read ours.
Yeah, we should read it, and it's just to let people know who are listening. Like, this is a Korean website, and then it's like translated. So it's like, you know, when you see like those funny like shirts in Asia that have like random phrases, it's like some of the phrases are kind of like that. But
Yeah, so this isn't us making this up.
disclaimer.
We should go in and edit this for them because there's a lot of people taking this, and it's like,
Yeah,
come on, guys.
who wants to go first with their little smile test poem?
I can go first.
Okay.
Okay.
Go.
I am a mint smile, and the face is like a little check mark, so it looks like half smiling. The mint smile is a professional straightforwarder who doesn't push and pull. Even if a mint smile likes someone, they don't express well, and they may need more time to think. They like flirting, but still feel stuffy. They express more and more once they start. In a relationship, they usually organize and lead the date. They get attracted by someone who focus on their job because it looks cool. Because they like to attract attention. They want to be acknowledged by their lovers, even for small things. So, they like someone who is kind and expressive. They think about breaking up when they feel that they are a burden to their lover.
Aww.
They don't like to get too emotional when arguing. They like someone who talk straightforward.
Nice.
Is it true?
I think though, like I don't like to flirt. It does feel stuffy. I'm kind of shy, so if I like someone, I get shy and I don't like to express it. And I need time to think. So that I think is true. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
to
yeah.
organize and lead the date.
Mm.
They get attracted to someone who focuses on their job because it looks cool. I think I am attracted to people who are like career oriented, but not because it's
Mm,
cool, but because it like establishes that they have purpose in their life and
Mhm.
they value like similar things that I do. And because Mint Smile likes to attract attention, I like to be acknowledged by their lovers for small things. Like I think being acknowledged
that's
for
sweet.
small and big things is like
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
I like people who are kind and expressive. That's true. When I think about breaking up, this also is like kind of true to like
Mhm.
not wanting to burden people with their emotions, which relates to like
Mm.
the whole INFJ personality type, but that's
Mm.
like very true. And then they don't like to get too emotional when arguing. Yeah, I don't like heavy, deep, dark feelings, but like
Mm.
I don't know who does.
That's very
Maybe there are
7.
people out there. Yeah, I
That
don't
is
like
very
deep
seven.
hard feelings. It's just like, why? And then they like people who talk straightforward. I
Mm.
don't like I think like that could mean a lot of different things, but I'm gonna
Mm,
interpret it as someone who is like honest and someone
Mm.
who is vulnerable with their feelings and they don't like cutting corners with the way
Mm.
that they express themselves. So but not like harsh, you know?
Mm.
mm.
And we, Mint Smiles, it's nice to have them together with gray smiles and beige smiles, and it's hard to have them together with sky smiles and brown smiles. So
Mm.
we'll keep an eye out on that. We'll have the people who I go on dates with take this test and we'll follow up. But that is my smile personality.
Love it.
Nice.
All right,
Wow,
who's
and if
next?
you're a
Oh,
single man out there that is a gray smile, oh no, no.
yeah,
That
gray
is
smile or beige
a
smile?
gray smile or a beige smile, you can email us at samchapodcast at gmail.com. Send us your resume, send us your
Yes.
name. Social security number is also helpful.
But don't do that
Um,
thing where like you're like actually a pink smile and then you like retook it.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
No. Mm-mm. No. Christine likes
Okay.
someone who talks straightforward.
Yeah.
Who talk
Who
straightforward.
talk
Yes.
Yes, who talks
straightforward.
straightforward. Yeah.
Yes,
Mhm. Pretty
definitely.
open ended.
And also
All right.
we're roasting the Google Translate because that's where
Yeah.
this translation is coming
Oh, is
from.
this Google translated?
I
It
think it's because of
must
Google
be.
Translate. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
Come on, Google Translate. All right. Okay. Megan, do you want to go next?
Yes. Okay, let's see. I am a pink smile. I'm a pink smiler. It says I am a quick-witted a love master.
Oh heck yeah.
Wow.
Master of Love?
Master.
Wow.
Masturbator. Just kidding. Wow, that was very 12-year-old boy. Okay,
Your
it
rising is
says
12-year-old boy.
yeah, truly,
Like the
truly.
masculine and the feminine, we see that coming through. It's
Yes, yes.
shining.
So crazy, the black hair and the black eyes. It's wild. Okay, so let's see. The pink smile, they tend to be careful in dating when we're in a relationship. Oh, when we're in relationship, it's important to keep certain line to approach them. They
Hmm.
are good-natured and friendly, so they have many friends. They often develop from acquaintances to lovers rather than blind dates. That's true.
That's
Oh.
true.
That is typically true. They notice and empathize with lovers' feelings well because they are quick witted.
You're very
I
empathetic.
don't know if, yeah, but I don't know if quick witted means
Hmm.
that anyway, whatever. I won't
Might be
butcher
a
this.
translation
Um,
thing.
yeah, yeah. They expect to get back what they have given, either as expressions or as gifts. Wait, which
That's
is
a
very
2.
similar
That's a
to
type 2
2.
thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a very
Wow.
type 2 thing. Crazy. Okay. They feel a sense of stability in the relationship if the other person expresses himself or herself generously a lot.
So like a
Okay.
lot.
Yeah.
Generously
Yeah,
a
Generously,
like a
lot.
lot.
a lot.
Yeah, generously a lot. They are disappointed when their lover behaves rudely.
Okay,
Yes.
who's not
We
though?
yeah, yeah. That is true. And then they hate situations of conflict with their lover. It's true. nobody, I think, likes
Likes that. Yeah.
conflict
There
with
are
their
people
lover,
who
but
like drama,
That's true.
but
that's true. That's true. They hate lying extremely, but
Mm.
a little bit is okay.
Well, is it like they hate like extreme lies, or they like really extremely hate lying, right?
Yeah,
That's what it
We'll
is.
just say both. Yeah, lying's a
Yeah.
big no-no. Lying is a big no-no. And then actually, Christine, the mint smile and the pink smile both have the same nice to have them togethers
Oh.
and the hard to have them togethers.
Oh, so you guys
So gray
have
wait,
smile
what?
and beige smiles are good.
the
So with
same like who's compatible and who's not with you.
yeah,
How does that
interesting.
work? Shouldn't they be like
It just
like
means you guys have to fight it out every time.
Megan, you and me?
Or
We have
Just
our
us,
happy days
man.
and we have our
Or
hard days.
Christine needs
or we
someone who's
now
like
there's
Sean.
two. Oh,
Yeah.
perfect. Okay, so I'll do some vetting.
Yeah.
Wait, how? I think we also need to like offline. We should figure out what Dane and Sean
Oh
are.
yeah, what their
Yeah, that'd
smiles
be
are.
fun.
Yeah.
That'd be
Mhm.
funny. That'd be funny. Okay, what about you, Christina?
Okay, so I am a khaki smile, and the
Ooh.
headline is A Love Analyst Who Learned Love from Writing. I was an
Oh my God,
English
English
major.
Oh
major.
my god.
Wow.
She
Okay.
loves books. She loves reading.
Yeah.
She
Insane.
I do
loves
analyze things. They may seem a bit cold when you first meet them. They are attracted to people who share the same hobbies and values. I think like that makes sense. Like I actually do think I can come off cold, possibly.
Oh.
I don't know,
Really?
but maybe not. Maybe it's
Well,
like
Everyone
I'm
who
like,
meets you for the first time, they
yeah.
like say, "Oh my God, Christina's so cool. I love her." I don't know about like the cold thing though.
coldness,
Okay, it's
yeah.
probably just my own
Mm.
projection of myself or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Oh,
yeah,
but like if it was like you know when you like played the board game
Oh,
or
that's
you were
true.
like giving those instructions, if they
Yeah.
like met you and that was their first time,
yeah,
I can see
yeah,
why that could
yeah.
come
Like
off as
that's a
cold.
cold hard
Mhm.
bitch, like you know.
Like, okay, we understand the rules, Christina. Let's
Yeah,
move on.
let's stop. Okay, okay, okay. It will take a long time to get to know each other, but later they will become very close. Yeah, I think so. Unlike their cold image, like they really think I'm cold. Unlike their cold image, they fall in love deeply. I think that's true.
Oh, that's
Um,
true.
they
Very
like
true.
they like good listeners who listen to what they care about. That is very true. Like
Mm,
I have nightmares.
yes.
Like I have dreams where like I'm explaining something to someone and they're not listening to me. And so I end up waking myself up because I'm talking and like yelling what I'm saying in the dream. And it's like my biggest frustration is like they're not listening to me.
No.
I love how out
Why
of
are they
all of
not
these,
listening to you?
this smile test is like the most
I know.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. Well, but maybe this will break it down. If the conversation doesn't go well in a conflict, they tend to avoid it. What are your thoughts on that? I feel
That's
like that's
kind of
wrong. I don't know.
I
really.
know, like someone who like pursues justice, who
Yeah.
likes to get the things like the facts in order.
Right?
Well, I
I
don't
think
think it's they tend to. I don't think you avoid it. It's more
Yeah.
that you will. Because I'm this specific sentence, I'm thinking about the middle seat lady
Yes,
on the
yes,
plane.
yes, yes.
So like I think
Mm.
because I think what
It was
Christina
the
does
bag
is like if
lady.
there's something. Oh yeah, the bag lady. There's the middle seat person is a different scenario.
That's the middle seat.
Yeah,
It's two armrests.
yes. I mean, come on, guys. Like this is 2023. Like get with the program.
Wait, we need to talk
But
about this though. Like we need
I
to
know
talk
there's a
about
lot. There's
There's
a
so much
lot
to
here.
what we
unpack.
unpack there.
But no, I think with
Yes.
Christina, it's like if the
I get what you're saying.
conversation, yeah, like doesn't go well in some sort of a conflict, then you don't avoid it. You just, I think you like overtly make like you go positive, you go nice, you kind of like
Yes.
kill them with kindness type of a
Yes, that is
thing. So like
true.
Mm.
So you don't avoid it. You actually like
Yes,
go
I'll pursue
head
it,
first.
but then if it
Yeah.
goes like south, then I'm like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
switch my
Yeah.
my path.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh,
Yeah.
I love it.
Yes, that's exactly how to
Mhm.
I
interpret
love
this.
it.
If the conversation does not go well in
In a
conflict,
conflict, yeah. Because
in
it's
a
like
conflict, it doesn't go well.
I'll still pursue the and like I'll still like confront,
Yes.
Yeah,
but then then I
they
might
will
return
tend to
to that.
avoid it, and by it they mean like the negative feeling. They'll
Yeah.
like divert it to something
Mhm.
that they can
Yes.
bring more like positive energy, like something that
Yeah.
has like a good outcome,
Mhm.
right? Yeah, not a bad
Okay.
one.
All
Oh,
right.
heck
So
yeah.
far we're like pretty much 100% with this khaki smile. Okay, so 2 more lines. There are times when they talk straight to their lovers. I don't really know what that means.
We should all be
Like
talking straight to our
like
lovers.
they're like
Like
blunt.
very
Is that what
honest.
that means? Yeah, like they're very blunt
Yeah,
and
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Um,
there are times, but
yeah.
it's like all the time though. It's not just
But I
there
don't
are
know.
times.
Yeah. So that
Well,
one, it's
maybe
not false.
sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
right in between. It's not. It's like that is like a gray statement. It's
Mhm.
not. Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
And then the last one, they hate being swayed by emotions more than anyone else.
huh?
This is kind of the type 1. Wait, you're type 1?
Mm-hmm.
Which was like you think more, or were we, I don't know if we talked about this during this hour or it was before, but you more maybe think with the details or like the facts at hand rather than like the emotions or the
Yeah.
senses.
Yeah. So
So
there's
maybe
Christina thinks like
something like that.
objectively versus subjectively.
Yeah.
yeah,
She
but
will
that's
skew
like
towards.
that's where it's interesting because that's my Myers-Briggs.
Mm-mm.
I'm an N, which is more the big picture versus S is like the facts. But I'm 50-50 with that. So, okay, could be maybe I'm a bit more like fact oriented. But then my F and T, which is like feeling and thinking, I'm more majority F. I don't know. This one's interesting. They hate being swayed by emotions more than anyone else. Who knows?
Who
Well,
knows?
it's like hate is a very strong thing,
That's
and then
true.
it's like anyone else.
And
It's like
more than anyone
most,
else. Like, wow.
yeah, for all the other 15 colors faces,
Yeah.
the Becky smile
Yeah.
is like the person. It's not that they like super hate it. It's just amongst
Yeah.
the 16 smiles.
That's true.
It's just like the person who
Yeah.
doesn't like being swayed, but they're more like judicious. They love like facts. They love.
That's true. Actually, it
being
goes with the
objective.
justice maybe where it's like what was fair versus
Yeah.
like how you feel about it. So I could see that.
Yeah.
This makes so much sense. And then,
Wow.
sorry, but like when I clicked on the link for the khaki smile,
Uh-huh.
top banner is "Am I gay test?" What? It's an "Am I gay personality test?" Oh, thank you.
Oh god, I'm dead.
I think that says more about your
And then the next one is like a Whole Foods ad, and yeah, this is well now like your ads will say a lot about who you.
That's so funny.
Anyways, this was really enlightening, and I think that this was a very fun exercise to
It
just like
was.
So much fun. Everyone go take all of these
Yes.
3 tests. They're free. Let us know what you are.
I'm literally wiping like a laughing tear from my eye.
Don't get hot Cheeto crumb
your
on
eye.
your
Yeah.
eye.
My thumb and index finger are
For hot
reserved
Cheetos.
for the hot
Okay.
Cheetos,
Oh,
and then
perfect.
my ring
Good.
finger and pinky are for wiping the tears.
Okay, perfect.
All right,
So
Fun
much
episode.
fun.
Cheers.